And I finally made it back home. It's nice to be back in the friendly confines here in Arizona. After all the traveling, Hong Kong, Taiwan, got to see some things. Made it back in time. Shout out to my guy Cam Cox for getting the jet right and getting me back to Arizona timely, so that I could be a part of the Roy Lopez camp that was free to a whole bunch of kids and took care of a whole bunch of kids in the community. I got to see Coach Jewell and his little guys out there, his young boys. I got to see Coach Tucker from Hamilton. A bunch of the Hamilton coaches pulled up. I think I saw downtown Dylan Brown, former Hamilton kicker. I believe he's coaching at Hamilton, part of that staff. I'm not for sure. Don't quote me on that one. Who else? I saw a bunch of people. Um, I want to say that I saw one of the Basha coaches out there. Um, I saw Coach Fig, obviously, because the event was held at Marcos. Um, Me and Cam, I put it on my Instagram stories. I'll probably put it on my monthly dump. Um, Me and Cam blessed Roy Lopez with some baby J's for his kid. Um, Roy's done such an amazing job for 5 years, giving back to the community and providing this free camp for so many young fellas. And look, he did this camp. I believe he did it at Desert Ridge for a few years. Now he's taking it to Marcos for a couple of years. I think there's the second year that I was at Marcos. The first three were out at Desert Ridge when his pops was coaching out there. I got to see Big Coach Lopez, Big Roy out there. So yeah. So young Roy was giving back, doing his best to make sure they gave back to the community that gave him so much, poured so much into him. Um, Me and Cam just thought it was right, bless him with a pair of J's, and baby's gonna come out the womb fresh. You know the deal. Um, Also saw Mr. AZ Sports. He got to ask Roy Lopez what his favorite restaurant was. I put that thing together. I saw Cody Cameron. I saw my guy Cody out there. That was kind of cool too. And Digos. In case y'all not familiar, my man Digos is Mr. Baseball. He's become Mr. Baseball in the state of Arizona. Um, I know he's a photographer and he uh, shoots a ton of baseball games. He's also a soccer coach, a girls soccer coach over at Apache Junction. He shoots a ton of football games, a ton of football games, and um, yeah, like he's kind of turned himself into Mr. Baseball here in the Valley. My guy Brett Quintine does a lot of good stuff with baseball. I know he calls some games for the AIA and stuff, but if you follow JJ Digos on um, Twitter X, if you will, X Twitter, if you will. If you follow him, you'll catch a bunch of baseball content. Who's hot, who's not. Um, Castile's absolutely cooking. I think he told me Millennium kind of rocking a little bit too. Not so familiar with that. Listen, I know Hamilton's usually pretty good. Chaparrella's usually pretty good. A lot of those teams in the East Valley are pretty solid. I know Liberty has had some good teams, but you know, if you guys are trying to keep up with baseball, if baseball's a thing for y'all, make sure that you guys are following JJ Digos on Twitter and Instagram a little bit. I think a lot of the reporters are trying to take some of their stuff to Instagram. I know like Brandon Huffman and Blair and Gulo and all those guys. They have their own private, 24/7 rivals accounts to talk about all the recruiting stuff. I think Beetle does a little bit of work on there, and Beetlejuice coming back next week. I'm bringing Beetlejuice back next week. He's been swamped with work, going hard in the paint with ASU practices, spring practices, and stuff like that. Um, but I do got my guy Gridiron Arizona gonna jump on a super special. What's about to happen tonight, one, has never happened in the 9-year history of the two piece. Not once. And we do we do a minimum of 52 episodes a year. So do the math. Nine times 52. However many episodes that comes out to, it's going to be over 450. We have never done what we are about to do. It took me cashing in every favor with Gridiron to get Gridiron to do this. And I am actually ecstatic because I have no idea how this is going to turn out. A very, very special Inside the Number segment coming tonight. But one thing I do want to talk about is I got to start by showing some love because shout out to my guy Cam Cox again, not just for the Jet, but he set up an incredible opportunity to chop it up with Coach Sammy Dwayne because a lot of stuff is going on down south in Arizona. I don't usually show Southern Arizona a whole ton of love unless it's like South Point or Sabino, the football programs with Marana. But I am going to show some love. Gridiron is going to figure out his internet situation or something like that. I'm not sure what's going on with Gridiron, but once he gets settled, I am going to bring him on, and we're going to get into our super special Inside the Numbers segment. Once again, what we are about to do has never been done before, and I think that's part of the problem with the internet on its side. Anytime you try something new, things always get messed up. But what's it called? Me and Cam Cox on our Dropping Dime show, which is going to air on Thursday on the 12 Plus app, got a super awesome opportunity to talk to Coach Dwayne, who coached at Perry and Cordoso for a long time. An absolute legend of a coach. And we got to talk about Koa Pete and the amazing things that he's doing, how his game is going to translate even further. Koa is going to lead U of A to this natty, I think, and really cement himself and his legacy as the greatest prep hooper of all time. I believe that. How does this tie into football? Because we are predominantly a football show, and I'm gonna explain somewhat in a minute. Back when Koa was at Perry, I know for fact. This is actual. This is actual factual, and you guys can talk to the right people and find out. Coach Ortiz, who was the coach at Perry, did his darndest to try to get Koa to come play football and play some sort of outside receiver, hybrid tight end position. Nothing crazy. He wasn't going to bring him off the edge to rush quarterbacks. Although I think he could have been spectacular at that. A lot of passes would have been batted down, batted up. A lot of opportunities for tip drill, but he wanted him to be a red zone package touchdown catcher. And I think I'm not sure all the details, but I believe Cale Snyder might have been involved in the pursuit of trying to bring Koa onto the field to try to possibly catch some touchdown passes. So, I think that would have been amazing. Listen, LeBron James did it. The other kid in California this past year tried to do it. So, this isn't some of these hoopers make the best touchdown catchers. Without further ado, we are going to get into this Inside the Numbers segment, an absolute special Inside the Numbers segment. I'm going to give you some basketball highlights real quick here in a second with Brophy Millennium, but coming right back, my guy, the one and only, the absolute legend himself in his own right, Gridiron, Arizona, Mr. Yellow Pad, Mr. Manual Scoreboard, and don't forget, we've never done this before. What's about to happen on this Inside the Numbers segment has never been done in the 9-year history of the Tuki. Last time that I checked, it was 5 chains on my neck. Been saying I'm a killer. Playing no games with you. That's a great question by Beetle. Hey, Gridiron, are you settled with the internet? The internet's working
I can hear you fine now. I had a lot of trouble during the intro there. It kept kind of doing the little gurgling sound and stuff like that. And it wasn't you gurgling. It was the connection was doing that. So I was having trouble hearing, but I think we're okay now. I did catch that you mentioned that you tried to make this a stretch into a football show. And that is a stretch. We're having people who almost played football be profiled tonight.
Hey, listen, it's such a unique situation because of
it is unique.
because of the greatness that is coming from this kid, Koa Pete, and that he is in our coverage time, if you will. And I got the chance to see him a couple times. I know you've never watched him do his thing except for on
Right.
TV and stuff like that. Beatles got an amazing question right here, which I am kind of curious. I don't know if you want to answer this first,
What was
or if you want to.
Beagle's question?
Real question: how many touchdowns would Koa have caught? Listen, I'm not a
He's
crazy
6'8".
person.
I mean, you know.
I'm not a crazy person, but what I will say, special package situation. I think that Koa would have been good for 5 to 7 touchdowns on a season. I don't think it would have been anything ridiculous. I
He'd be
think
your red zone guy. You just,
for sure,
50
for
ball.
sure. No, absolutely. Listen, you're inside. You're inside the 20. Give him 2 or 3 shots to catch an alley oop, which we know he can do. And I think that 5 to 7 in a 12-game season isn't too much to ask. I think that Cale Snyder, Diesel Taylor at one time, super capable of getting him the ball. Maybe it translates to 1 more victory, maybe 2, just depends on the situation. Perry did play some close games, so you just never know. But listen, this has never, ever, ever, ever been done in the history of the 9-year history of the two-piece. And we are going to get into this inside the numbers segment.
We got a lizard and a basketball jersey. How about that?
Absolutely crazy. Koa Pete, Mr. Arizona, the accomplishments and the accolades are all there. Gridiron, I am super fascinated at how you are going to go inside the numbers on Koa Pete, what he has done. I'm guessing you're going to jump through Max Preps and take us through some of his statistical accomplishments.
Well, we'll start. He's 6'8", 235, freshman at Arizona. From Perry High School. He's mention the family first, the Pete family. Koa is the youngest of 7. The father, of course, is Todd Sr. He played in the NFL with the Cardinals and the Raiders. Look at me get a little football in here.
There you go.
Jr. was a brother of his. Todd Jr. played football at Nebraska. Andres played football at Stanford and in the NFL. Cassius played football at Michigan State and Virginia. Kiona is on the football team at Arizona right now. And then there's also 2 sisters, Leilani and Maya, that played college basketball. So Koa is on that side of the family. They're playing basketball. It's a Hawaiian name. His mom is Hawaiian. It means a strong warrior. And in high school, he helped Perry win 4 straight state basketball titles. He also won 3 gold medals for USA basketball in the under 16 and under 17 teams. His senior year with the Pumas had 19 points per game, 10 rebounds per game, and 5 assists as the Pumas went 27-2. You may recall he broke his hand late in the year. Came back in the semis after missing a few games. There were kind of reports that he was going to be out for the season, but those ended up not being quite right. And he came back, he played with it, and then he scored 20 points in the final against Sunny Slope, which they needed to win that 4th title. Not only that, but he was a 3-time Gatorade Player of the Year for Arizona. He committed to U of A on the Pat McAfee show on ESPN. And then when he got down to Tucson, he went and scored 30 points in his debut against number 3 Florida, national telecast there. And then he, of course, he wrapped it up. He wrapped up the trip to the Final Four by scoring 20 points Saturday night in the Elite 8 win over Purdue to send the Cats to the Final Four for the first time in 25 years. He was named the NCAA Tournament All-West Region team. And, of course, this Saturday, Arizona plays Michigan in the second game there, 5:45 p.m. on TBS. And going inside the numbers, it's interesting when you look at the points that Arizona has scored in this tournament through 4 games. Koa Pete, 70 points. Braden Burries, 71 points. And Ivan Karchenkov, 56 points. All 3 of those guys, freshmen, they're the 3 leading scorers for Arizona in this tournament.
Man, 2 of those guys are going to be in the NBA next year, at least. I would be willing to bet. One of them being Koa Pete, who I believe sits at the top of the mountain in the GOAT conversation for Arizona prep basketball players based on their prep career. I don't think that there's.
Well, now if you're just basing it on the prep career, that means nothing he did this year counts.
Yeah, that is true. That
Okay.
is true. But
Because there's kind of two ways you can go about it. You can either look at just what he did in high school, or you take the whole package, in which case you obviously have to wait on him a little bit to see what happens, once he gets to the NBA. Because we've had Arizona high school guys, play in the NBA before. Obviously some that are there right now. And then you have, I don't think any of them that they're playing in the NBA right now was a 3-time Gatorade Player of the Year in the state of Arizona. So
or even won 4 straight championships, because I don't think Sean Elliott or Mike Bibby accomplished either of those feats. Mike Bibby, I know, did not.
Won 4 in a row. Wasn't Bagley on the team that won 4 titles in a row at Corona?
Oh, you're right. What's it called?
Under the same head coach.
Yes.
Yeah.
I believe that Cassius was a part of that.
It may have overlapped into 2 different Pete's careers in there. It might not have been one for all 4 of them or not. I don't remember exactly how that part of it broke down, but certainly one of the all-time prep greats right there, and gets a chance to continue that legacy with a tournament run here and a possible championship for the Wildcats.
I think that listen, once he wins this natty with U of A, it already puts him in the same standing, literally, with Bibby, having done 1-1. But I think the high school accomplishments on their own, the 4 straight championships, well, I mean the 4 championships, and then the three USA gold medals. I think we added one there because we figured he'll win one once he's pro, and added to one of those team.
Well, you got to make the Olympic team once you're pro. You don't just automatically get on there. So
I think he's gonna. I don't.
There's a lot of competition once you get in competing with all the professionals to make the Olympic team too.
I don't think that there's been a 3-time Gatorade Player of the Year. I think that he's the first one in basketball. Was a McDonald's All-American, Nike Hoop Summit, all that stuff.
Mike Bibby, you mentioned him, played at Shadow Mountain. He was on that Arizona champion team in 1997. The only time so far that Arizona has won a national title, 29 years ago. Bibby ended up getting drafted number 2 by the Grizzlies overall, and he did make all rookie first team his first year. That was when the Grizzlies were in Vancouver still.
Yeah, I think Ko is going to be a top 10 pick. I don't know that he's.
I don't know about that. I don't know that he's going to be a top 10 pick. He'll be a first round. I'm hearing a lot of guys' names get mentioned. This is why so many teams are tanking this year in the NBA, is because of the strength of this class.
Yeah, I can't imagine. I can't imagine that Pete falls out of the lottery. I do think that he'll be a top 10.
What does the lottery go?
13. I think 13 or 14. 13 or 14.
30 teams in the NBA, and I guess the lottery goes 14 picks deep.
Yeah, so I can't imagine that he falls out of the lottery
for the top 14.
Man, I don't see 14 players in college better than him. I just don't.
Well, it's not just college anymore either. You got
to go overseas, I guess.
You got guys that come from the G leagues. It's not just one and done college guys in the NBA draft.
I don't know. There's 14 draftable players on this planet that are. I don't know. I think Ko is a lottery guy. Top 10. I'm putting him top 10. Put me down for top 10.
If I have the number 1 pick, I'm taking Debanza from BYU.
Oh my God. Facts. I'm with you on that. I'm really with you on that.
Cameron Boozer is going to be up there among those top picks.
He's tough too.
Guy playing in the Final Four this week, Keaton Wagler. He's going to be among there in the lottery picks. Guy that U of A beat, Darius Acuff from Arkansas.
That kid's good too.
He really made a name for himself in this NCAA tournament as well. Let's see here. I'm seeing how far down this mock draft goes before they mention Kopi. They've got Braden Burries going number 10 in this one. Of course, you got the guy they're going to face this week, Yaxel Lendeboard from Michigan. He's in that lottery mix. And I'm down here. I'm down here. I've not found him yet. This one has okay. This mock draft has him going, ironically, with the pick that the Suns used to own, that goes to Charlotte at pick 17. So 17 is kind of right on the cusp of the lottery. That's kind of what I was saying. Not a lock for the top 14, but certainly a first round pick. And maybe it goes up if he has a really good 2 games here.
This CBS Sports mock draft thing has him at number 12.
12? Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
I'm looking at FanSided right here. So if one's got 12 and one's got 17, that's right there in the mix of a top 14.
Man, I just he's the length, the things.
Yeah, this is.
I just think he's so.
Look at the little write up on Koa, and it says Koa Pete has done nothing but win since high school. And that's absolutely true. And he's done more of the same in college. So
how could you not want somebody like that on your team? That's if you have the chance to draft Koa, and you pass on him, and then he ends up going and does Koa things. There's going to be 10, 12, 15 GMs that are going to be looking for new jobs. Maybe not all at the same time.
I mean, certainly, so even some of the guys that we might have just talked about here, as I was looking at those, top 17 picks, basically almost half of those don't pan out, right?
Yeah. I
could go pull up the draft from 5 years ago in the NBA, and we could look at some of those guys and go, who was that?
This ESPN mock draft has him at 19. I'm stunned.
19.
Like, okay. Yeah, give me Koa anywhere 8 to 14.
I think the NBA draft has a better accuracy number in terms of not being a bust than the NFL does.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Yeah. I think that's fair because I think
it's just more difficult in the NFL because it depends on what kind of a system you end up getting to, and there's so many other positions in the NFL that are dependent upon things. Whereas in basketball, it's 5 guys, they both play offense and defense, and
then you take that.
And usually, when you're a lottery pick, you're certainly going to get the minutes right away.
And then you take that abuse in the NFL too, and then you find yourself out for like.
And you get the guys who are only have 3-year careers anyway, and granted, a lot of guys in the NBA miss time also, but hopefully, it's one of those where you hope your team's healthy when you get to the playoffs.
Like what happened to the GM that drafted David Carr? Because he was can't miss guy.
And maybe if he'd had an offensive line when he got
and didn't get sacked 132 times his rookie year,
he got sacked all over the field.
Like all those can't miss 4-3 receivers that the Raiders have chose. Where's those GMs that drafted Darius Hayward-Bay?
Just take the fastest guy in the draft every year. Yeah.
Henry Ruggs. Where are those GMs at? But listen. The reality is that it is kind of a crapshoot. However, I think with the way that Koa plays, I think he is less of a gamble than you would think.
And he's got plenty of the family to lean on that played at the next level.
True.
Got a brother that's played multiple years in the NFL and a dad that played multiple years in the NFL.
Yeah. So Gridiron, to answer Beatles' question, now that you've had some time to kind of process this and Koa's the full range of his athletic ability, what he brings. Now, I know you're not going to proclaim that Perry would have turned into an open division champion, although we don't know. Maybe they would have. How many touchdowns do you think that he could catch?
The other thing, too, is he would have gotten football ready. I think he would have been bulking up a little more, I think, if he knew he was playing football.
Making it scarier.
Of the taking a pounding part.
Sheesh, making it scarier.
He was going to get hit a lot more than he will on Saturday, right?
For sure, absolutely, 100%.
Even if he's going up against Castile on a Friday night, he's going to get hit a lot more than he would against Michigan on Saturday, right?
Oh, sheesh, that is true. That is very, very true. A bulked up Koa Pete in high school is scary.
That is scary.
Absolutely.
I'm not saying he doesn't lift, but I think there's just a different way of
mentality
for a football season than a basketball season.
Hey, LeBron was a phenomenal prep football player. He was a very, very good football player at what was it, St. Vincent St. Mary's or whatever. Right. So your thoughts here, Koa Pete, his game. What do you think? we'll say junior senior year when his body's a little bit more mature and he's able to
And he's still
do some of the
6'8",
physical
right?
grind.
I
He's still 6'8".
I don't know that he's grown 3 inches since he went to U of A. So we'll
No,
assume he was still 6'6" or 6'7", when he was
yeah,
a senior at Perry.
6'7".
Yeah. Thanks, Beetle.
I don't think they're doing that anymore, but I just wanted to do it just in case. So, but yeah, 6'6", 6'6", 6'7", 6'8".
And you just
Your
don't
thoughts
have a
here.
lot of guys that size that you're going to be throwing passes to from the 10-yard line. So
Hey, listen, Uriah Tennant was a phenomenal basketball player over at Prescott and did things on the
he did pretty
football
well
field.
in college this year too. He was
Yeah,
playing.
yeah. No question. But he did some amazing things on the football field, being a basketball player. So Koa Pete at 6'8",
He's over at New Mexico now.
dealing with Coach Ortiz passing numbers and Cale Snyder, freaking Boise State commit at quarterback, and Diesel Taylor, who put up some numbers for them. Your thoughts here? I said somewhere between, I think I said like between 5 and 7. So maybe 5 and 8. So
maybe by the time he was a senior, he could have had 5 to 7 this season. Sure.
In a 10-game season, I agree. I couldn't agree more. I know last
he probably
week
wouldn't have had those 3 gold medals though, because that's probably when he was out earning those, was during football season, or when he would have been getting ready for a football season.
Maybe.
I don't know if that was probably a summer thing, but
I know enough about the situation, having had a conversation with Coach Dwayne yesterday, taping the Dropping Dime show. I know enough about the situation to know that Ortiz only required 30 minutes a day of Koa Pete. He didn't even have to attend the whole practice. He just had to be there 30 minutes a day for his package. So, maybe he would have had time to mess around, and maybe Coach Ortiz would have been a little flexible to allow Koa to listen. Sometimes when you have a superstar, you make superstar exceptions.
And Kid was the starter as a sophomore.
But he was a starter. He was
a starter when Cale was a sophomore. He was the starter.
Yeah,
and he did have 17 touchdown passes that 2 years ago.
So he could have had 22
when Koa was a senior there. Yeah.
Right. So he could have had 22. Could have, add 5 to Koa, and I think that would.
Well, it might have been touchdown passes that other guys caught. He might have still ended up with a few more than that, but some other guys on the receiving team wouldn't have had touchdowns because they're throwing to Pete instead. But
now I know that you said last week that your bracket was completely shredded. But did you have Arizona winning?
I ripped it up, but yeah.
Did you have Arizona winning? Was that who's?
No, I had him losing to a cuff in Arkansas.
Oh wow! Whoa. I did not have that. I had them in the Final Four.
Yeah, I think Michigan was the only Final Four team that I had.
I had them in the Final Four.
That said, I am not picking Michigan over Arizona. So
no, I don't think Michigan's got the juice, but
they had plenty of juice against Tennessee.
Yeah, but Tennessee's
21-01 out there.
Tennessee's junk. I do have Michigan advancing. I have Michigan advancing. My bracket got killed when Duke got killed. So
yeah, that was crazy ending. All you had to do was hold the ball, get fouled, make 2 free throws, and you win.
Absolutely unbelievable. Inconceivable.
And then not only do they turn it over, but the kid launches up from the logo 35 feet away and swish. How about that?
Who was that? That was Mullins.
Mullins.
And then Dan Hurley headbutted the referee. I saw. I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah, I did see that clip after. I don't quite know what was going on there. It didn't draw blood. I know that, and it would have been insane to call a technical foul for it. I don't know what he was looking at the ref for there. Well, the Duke announcers were calling for a technical foul. I've heard the Duke audio.
Well, what's it called? They were calling for a technical foul because of Dan Hurley headbutt chest bump or whatever he did with the ref, and then they also wanted a technical foul because one of the assistant coaches came off the bench and went on the court, which I think.
Well, in essence, they called a timeout. They called a timeout as soon as the bat ball went in.
Yeah, I think in the Texas game something similar happened. So. I don't know, man. It's crazy, 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 crazy. Yeah, hey, Gridiron, I appreciate. Listen, I appreciate you doing this because
Hmm.
I know
Well,
we
it's
had
a
to step
special
out.
thing. It's Final Four week, and there's an
It is
Arizona team in the mix. And not only is there an Arizona team in the mix, there's a guy that played Arizona high school ball in the mix with it,
with
and
a football family.
and a football family. That's right. We
The
did have a
full
football
football
reference
family
in there.
made that thing work. My guy Gridiron. Now basketball teams are going to want that Gridiron basketball coverage. You're
Well,
going to be
if they can do what he did, sure. We need one of these guys to go over to ASU and get that team in the Final Four, right?
wow. And you'll do a whole spread on them. You'll do a whole.
Absolutely.
That's what I like to
And then we'll
hear.
wonder what they would have done for their school's football team.
Oh man, shoot. Dude, who knows? Who knows? All right, hey, Gridiron, I appreciate you doing that. Spending some time chopping it up, talking about some U of A basketball, a local product
They're
in
down.
Coapete. And I'm not gonna go that far. Listen, listen. I know a couple of the people over there. I want to shout out some of the coaches over there that have been really, really good and have been really, really good over there, like Benson and Gardner and all those guys. I think that they've done an amazing job. Coach Lloyd, what he's brought to that program, and
Will
I know
will
that.
the loser of this game Saturday get the North Carolina job?
No, I think that that's going to go to Donovan.
Donovan with the Bulls, yeah.
Yeah, because
That's who I thought at the very beginning of this, but now that now that the Florida's been holding off, and now that Michigan's coach has been involved in being one of the candidates, it makes you wonder.
I I don't see Lloyd leaving. I had a unique opportunity to talk to Justin Spears a little bit also from ESPN Tucson, good friend, and he's got a cool golf tournament coming up. So if you guys get a chance, if you guys are golfers, check that out. Find him on Twitter. I'm not sure what his Twitter handle is, but I'll retweet the thing. He told me that he doesn't think that Lloyd is going to go because when Lloyd had the chance to take the U of A job when he left Gonzaga, he said that the only job he would leave Gonzaga for, because he was the heir apparent to Mark Few, was Arizona. So
was Gonzaga.
Yeah, well, no, the only job that he would leave Gonzaga for was Arizona because he was the heir apparent to he was next in line with
well, he was
left.
hired the same year that Roy Williams retired, and there's reports out there now that Lloyd wanted that North Carolina job. I don't know if I don't know if he was ever interviewed for it. I don't know if he was a serious candidate for it. But there's talks that he wanted that job when it first opened.
I don't think that I don't know how serious they took him because at the time, I believe that North Carolina was an in-house part of the family.
They have been
hire only.
Yeah.
Yeah, like forever, right? So like that was the only way. That's why Hubert Davis got it because he was like a guy for them. So I don't know.
Billy Donovan would be going outside that. So
yes.
Some people wanted him to go get Stackhouse.
And for the first time, like in like a long time or forever, it has to be a long time, right? Because Dean Smith was there, and then obviously Roy, and then Hubert Davis. But like now like there's a whole bunch of the alumni, I guess, like the Kenny Smiths and guys like that have like some influence that have kind of made the statements that they have to go outside the family to find their next head coach. And so I personally
Donovan won two national titles at Florida. Now he was not coaching at Florida during the NIL era, so it's a little bit different now coaching that.
But Florida's been paying athletes forever, so like going back to Mike Miller and Teddy.
But they weren't making as much as he was back then.
Yeah. I mean, it was a little bit more discreet, but yeah, they've been paying their players forever. So he's a little familiar. But yeah, man, look, it's a different landscape. And listen, I think Lloyd would be a great coach at North Carolina. I don't know that I want to see him go, but whatever. I mean, if he goes, I wonder what U of A would do.
Yeah.
I wonder who U of A would turn to, and I wonder if maybe they would look at like a Luke Walton type or somebody like that to come
Mhm.
in. I mean, but that's getting way ahead.
Yeah, yeah,
Listen,
yeah.
let's just let Koa live, win the Final Four this weekend, and then win the championship on Monday, and
Well,
then
I
move
gotta
on from
believe
there.
if he wins the championship, I don't think he's leaving. Why
If
why
Lloyd wins,
why,
okay.
why would you leave after you win a championship? That doesn't make any sense.
Maybe that's why you leave. You need a new challenge. Go rebuild somewhere. Go rebuild a story. Listen, the other thing, and I promise we're gonna be done with U of A basketball talk after this, and it's such a unique situation. I'm so grateful to have Gridiron doing this with me. The other thing is, and I've talked to a whole bunch of people. Um, I don't think U of A is a blue blood basketball program, even though they're super successful regular season wise. They're just not though. Like, and maybe that's why you leave
Where North
to go
Carolina
take on a
is,
blue blood
and you
program.
probably have a lot more money to work with at North Carolina. I wouldn't doubt that either.
For sure. For sure. Because I mean, listen, you're trying to rub two pennies or two nickels together when you're at like an ASU, and maybe it's silver dollars uh or whatever at U of A, but like North Carolina's probably not having that problem raising money for their basketball team and stuff
Mhm.
like that. And some of those blue blood basketball programs, they're not having the same difficulty. So maybe that's a reason in itself to um, you know, I don't know. Hey, real quick though, listen, we always jump from the high school football talk to some Suns talk and some Cardinals talk and stuff like that. Let's jump to some high school football talk real quick. There
All
are a ton of high school football head coach openings right now. Not a ton, but like
right.
Saguaro's open,
We've had
Tollison's open,
we've had more filled.
Valley
Or
Vista's open.
we've had more filled than are currently open.
Okay,
Let's see, get our tote board out here. We are at get this out here. We've had
Cesar
57,
Chavez.
57 changes. Tollison was the most recent one. 57 changes by the time next season begins, and of those, 37 have been hired, which means there's only 20 right now that have not made a hire.
This late.
And we're basically a month from spring ball. So you got to think that these 20 are going to fill their job in the next 2 to 3 weeks,
Week.
right?
Got to be sooner than that, right? Got to be the next week. Like, I
Well,
mean,
basically, what is today? Today's the 30th. 4 weeks from today is when spring ball begins. It'd be April 27th. Oh,
I had,
4 weeks from yesterday would be the first day of spring ball.
I had.
So we're
Oh, hold
27
on.
days from spring ball right now.
Yeah,
And
listen.
let's see what's still. They're not all big schools, and possibly some of these could have made hires. I just haven't seen them. I got Rincon, I got Blue Ridge, Kingman Academy, St. John's, Coronado, Wilcox. Of course, Saguaro reopened. I have not heard anything of that one yet. We got Window Rock, Fountain Hills, Catalina, Central, of course, in the valley. We got Kingman, Valley Vista just recently opened, and then of course Cesar Chavez and Goodyear and Tolleson, which also all recently opened.
Hey, shout out to my guy, Coach Cheatwood, your guy too, because
Yeah,
I remember we were at the championship game and he was singing your praises about how he's been following you for a hot minute.
I'm
And
moving on up there, huh?
yeah, doing this thing, over there at
Oklahoma.
Oklahoma now,
Yeah.
taking over the room, I guess, and then you're gonna get an opportunity to recruit heavy. Um, yeah, he actually just hit me up checking in and stuff. So wanted to show him some love, and I know how much of a fan you are of his, and he is of
Human
you.
Catholic
So
Shamrock.
there you go. I listen. I don't think anybody knew that until you brought that up. I don't think everybody knew him as like college football coach, Coach
Yeah.
Cheatwood. And I remember when you
And
dropped
he
that little
recruited.
nugget, and I was like, dang. I was like, man, my man Gridiron really in this thing. But yeah, there's that. Your boy Chili. I am gonna make my way out to spring practices for ASU probably starting next week. I think I'm gonna try to catch like the end of them or whatever. But so yeah, if you guys are out
is
to
it
college,
next?
what?
Is it the weekend? The Saturday after this, they have that public scrimmage.
Yeah, I believe so. I believe
Yeah,
so. They just
not
had
this Saturday.
one
I think
this
it's
past Saturday.
okay.
They just had one this past Saturday, open to the public and all that stuff. Are you going to go to one?
I wasn't planning on it. No.
No. Well, you brought it up, so I thought that maybe you were going to go. Your sons are doing pretty well.
They
I know
got beat tonight. Tough
man.
loss to Orlando. They were down about 15 at the half. They came back, took a brief lead. They ended up losing by 4 points. I'm thinking they did get Dylan Brooks back tonight, and he got a
Dylan the villain
in his return. But
so he's back.
So he's back. They're looking kind of locked into that 7. So it looks like they'll have 2 shots to win a home game. We'll see who they're against and stuff. But
Okay.
We'll see if they can get in.
That'll be exciting. Listen, man.
Before Wemby destroys them in the playoffs.
Oh man, stop it, dude! They've beat the Spurs this year, though. Like, I mean,
they did once. I think they beat OKC and San Antonio once.
They're not afraid.
Maybe they can beat them once in the series, and
no,
I'd be surprised if it went more than 5.
What? Get out of here! Dylan Brooks will be in SGA's head. In SGA's head, like brains. I'm telling you.
SGA's always at the line, man. That's where he lives.
Sheesh, man. No, that's true. He's a free throw mercenary. All right. Hey, Gridiron, I appreciate you. Men lie, women lie, numbers don't. Gridiron always holding down the community, taking care of everybody with the manual scoreboards and all the cool things. The official numbers guy for Flight Club and the official numbers guy of the show with the Inside the Numbers segment. Gridiron, I'm going to catch you next week. Sound good?
You bet.
We'll be back. We will be back to high school football coverage and
next week
and a couple of
nobody's playing in the Final Four the next week. No Arizona hockey teams in the hockey Final Four.
Oh man, Gridiron. All right, man. Hey, ASU baseball kind of cooking. Shout out to Harrison, my man. My man is absolutely doing things. And Burrito Express with the heater. Make sure you guys go check that out and go grab yourself one. Gridiron, I'm gonna catch you next week. All right.
All right, we'll see you.
All right, your boy Chili. I'm gonna make my way out of here. At Just Chili, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat. If you guys got any questions on anything, or you just need some extra love, some extra juice on a post or whatever, I'm gonna retweet and show that love. Other than that, Just Chili TV, YouTube, and TikTok. But I don't do too much on TikTok, so whatever. Give your boy a follow. Maybe I'll jump on and do something at the next like camp or event that I do. Next week, Beetlejuice makes his return. I think I'm like 98% sure, as long as I say it 3 times. So other than that, man, listen, we're not all U of A fans, but I am supporting Koa Pete. Shout out to the young fella taking advantage of all his opportunities. Going to be a great NBA player one day also. So we will show a little bit of love next week to Koa and the crew after they cut the Nets down in Indianapolis. Other than that, your boy Chili, I'm going to make my way out of here. Forks up forever. Y'all know the deal.